All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out the word and truth and sincerity. And we're the brothers here from Great Millstone Tampa Church, and we're just going to back here for another weekly live stream, as well as it's going to be edifying to the hopeful elect out there. And I'll let the brothers go ahead and take over. I know they got something in topic.
All right, because brothers been going on search up Black Swan event real quick. Because brothers been going into the Black Swan event because as we read in Habakkuk 2, the second chapter, it said the vision is set for a point in time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Well, we live in the times where it's speaking, man. Okay? All right? There's no more questioning when it's coming and when it's happening. If you in that spirit, then you're not really watching or looking, man. All right? Ever since, the elder Tahar deemed this to your prophecy through the spirit, the death of Soleimani, everything's just been taken off, man. All right? That momentum. All right? So that you got the definition of Black Swan? Just read the first.
John, this is a Black Swan event. It says a Black Swan is an unprecedentable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences.
That's it. It has severe consequences. Something that doesn't normally happen. That's why it's called in its name a Black Swan. How often you don't see a Black Swan? When have you seen a Black Swan? You know what I mean? Usually swans are white, so this is something that doesn't usually happen, and then the consequences are catastrophic, man. Okay, so that's what's taking place. Okay, because what's happening right now is China, due to their whole situation over there, the virus. All right, people are shipping products in, but they all sitting at the dock, man. You got nobody to unload them. Go ahead. Yeah, you got nobody to unload them, take a crane, and then you don't got trucks to even ship them into the cities because why? China's canceled all its orders. All right, because nobody's going to restaurants, nobody's shopping, so all that product is being built up, and they're canceling all their orders.
And not only that, but you also got other countries that usually get shipments from China that are not receiving any more shipments. For prime example, the other day I was looking up for the new iPhone that's supposedly coming out this year, and they said that the shipments might be the release date is going to be pushed back because of the whole thing happening in China. Because when you get the iPhones, on the back of it, it says designed in California but made in China. So the iPhones they get from over there from China, so Apple already shut down like 2 of their factories over there, and there's a couple other places that closed down. But what this is causing, like brothers going into, is a slowdown in the economy of China. All right, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the second largest economy in the world, or maybe the first. I can't remember exactly.
Split hairs between America being the first and the second. Yeah. So what the brother's saying is right. And China is like a main artery, all right, so to say, to this economy. Okay, so like the brother stated, nothing is going in and nothing is being shipped out. So imports and exports, all right? And China is a big market. I just saw a video the other day, like the Florida Keys, they usually ship like millions of pounds of lobster to China. Well, China is canceling all the orders because nobody's going to the restaurants. Nobody's working. So what this is causing like a global recession, man. Okay?
There's certain things that are still coming in and coming out, but it's going to get to the point to where Lord's will is going to be completely shut down. Okay? Like you have I played a couple of weeks ago this video game on the phone, and basically it was you had to create a virus that would spread to the whole earth that would kill everybody. And so as you're playing the verse, I specifically named the virus coronavirus. I put it to start in China. you know, and then you as you gain points as the virus spreads, you get to add certain things. And the first things that countries started to do once the virus starts to get real bad was they shut down the ports. Then eventually they're going to shut down the airplanes, and then they'll close down borders, or you know, they'll start doing certain parameters. You know, they'll do certain things to try to slow down this virus, which, you know, China's already doing. You already got about 800 million people quarantined over there, man. All right, and so what? Like, you look up videos of Wuhan. Okay, they don't got nobody working over there. All right, the people, and if you caught out on the streets without a mask, you're gonna get your ass tackled and thrown into a van, man. All right, so things are getting real bad for China, man. And China's getting hit with a locust plague, man, that came over from the east coast of Africa, met up with the one in India, and now it's over there wreaking havoc in China, man. So China right now is getting all types of help thrown at it. Okay, and real quick, I got a quick precept going into this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm gonna start at verse 46. It says, "And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that thou might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions." Okay, you see, because what? China, all right, you got a bunch of gooks walking around in suits. Okay, you have all, you know, over there in China, the same thing with Japan. They're highly sexualized, just like here in America. You know, you got Ariel, you know, you got these women, you know, that just love to have sex, just like here in America. All right, you got a bunch of degenerate shit happening over there, eating all types of abominations, worse than here in America, really, when it comes down to eating abominations. All right, but they model the economy after them. They had almost a similar government structure. Okay, China's been a big partaker of the same things that America has pushed. Okay, I'll read that last verse again, verse 48, and I'm going to continue. It says, "Thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions." You see, because Moab is one of the bigger countries around, or you know, continents around the whole world that really follows after the ways of America. Okay, that's one of the bigger nations that follows, you know, what they do. So it says, "Therefore, saith the Most High," verse 49, "I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death." And that's exactly what's happening over there, man. You know, China's getting hit with that Wuhan. Okay, they're getting hit with poverty. All right, because what? You got people not being able to go to work, so now they can't keep up with their bills. Okay, it said famine. Okay, because now they're shutting down all these grocery stores. Like your brother was saying, you know, food, the groceries aren't being delivered. You know, foods from other countries that normally would be getting delivered. Some countries are stopping shipments to China. Okay, and not only that, but what? You have that locust plague that's also happening over there. So that's tearing up the vegetation. That's tearing up the crops. Okay, and it said sword and pestilence, because now you're having all these gooks, all right, all these fish heads, zipper heads, getting gunned down over there, man. Because what? They had a video that came out like about a week or two ago. The lady, they were trying to stuff her in the back of the van because she didn't have a mask or she was showing symptoms, and they ended up breaking this woman's neck. They slammed her and busted her neck open, man. You know, so a lot of these people are being killed. There's people rioting and stuff.
Hey, if I may add real quick, a lot of people forgot about what happened prior to all this. People forgot about all the riots that were taking place out there. People storming the airports, rioting. You know, everybody, all that was forgotten about. The riots in Hong Kong. Yeah, everybody, the police starting to shoot people. No, and nobody remembers all that now. It's all about the Wuhan. But wait, this place has been in shambles for the last couple months before the coronavirus, man. So China is just in a steep decline, man, and rightfully so, because you know like the brothers are going into, they're the main exporters to America. You know, if you check 98% of the things in your house, most likely, I'll say 90% of the things in your house is made in China.
Not to mention the trade war. That was another big thing that was going on with China and the United States.
Yeah.
Well, the tariffs, so a lot of news has been coming out of that land for the past year and change. Now it's all come to a head with this so-called virus or whatever the case is. It is only going to get worse from now on. But go ahead, brothers.
Going back to the second Esdras 15, I'll read verse 49 again. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. In verse 50, it says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as flour. Because what? One of the powers of China that's glorified upon the earth is its economy, because it's so big. They have such a big economy over there because it's so many people, and it's a vast land. So that's one of the things that they've been glorified about. Okay, and now what is happening? Now they're having government. They're not people aren't working. Exports, aren't being received. Imports aren't being accepted. Okay, because there's no workers to unload. Okay, and some places. Okay, so it said, shall be dried up as flour, man. When the heat shall arise, that is sent over thee. Because now what? Now they're on the hot seat, man. China over there. China's right now is a hot seat for the entire earth, man. The entire earth is eyes on China, man. Okay, because it's a big deal whether that coronavirus is as serious as they say or not, or if it's more serious than what they're saying. Hey, nonetheless, it is a start of something, man. All right, or at least this is what we have faith in. All right, because what faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. All right, so we're hoping that this thing continues to get worse and worse for China, man. Because eventually, guess what? It's going to come here to Babylon the Great. Okay, but right now the judgments like we're going into is happening over there in China because what? They wanted to be partakers along with Babylon, man, that great whore. Okay, and one more verse. It says, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as for chastity, chastised with slack. Let me read that again. 2 Esdras 15 and 51. It says, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. Shall not be able to receive thee, man. And ain't nobody right now. You got a lot of people not wanting to deal with China, man.
Go ahead. That's it. All right, and through the spirit, even I was thinking this, but even the elder Malcolm he stated that he was starting to think that it was a plan. It was a plan that Esau hit them with that virus, but through the spirit, and that confirmed it. I was thinking like, hey, that China, I remember El Pastor, he made a video saying that China will be the first one to implement the mark of the beast, and they got like a lot of views. Well, China, all right, they got like a billion population, okay, 1 billion, close to 1 billion population. So I got this quick preset right here, real quick. This is Psalms chapter 64, verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay? So, the first one to get to that cat, and reason why he did it, because there were certain cities in China that was cashless. They wasn't using cash at all. All right? So, China could be very... Hong Kong is one of them. Yeah, Hong Kong. China could be very well trying to be the first one to get to that New World Order, like to the point where they chipping everybody, as the elder stated, they chipping everybody and they cashless, and this is a great way to do that. And this they in league together. Going back to Psalms 83, this Psalms 83 verse 1, it says, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, talking about Israel. They have said, let us come together and cut them off from being a nation, going back into them being in league, them trying to be like America, as you stated. All right, it says that the name of Israel be no more remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. So all the nations are in league with this new world order. The elites, at least the elites of these nations, man. China trying to knock down their population, okay, wipe out a lot of this people and implement that chip, okay. All nations are in league, man. They know what's planning to happen. That new currency, man. The elites, at least, not these peons, but elites of all these nations. They know the end game, man. Is to get everybody chipped. All right. So it says, cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more remembrance, but they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. All right. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man Ishmael. All right. So-called Arabs, in Moab, in the Hagarenes. So it lets you know that, hey, man, all these nations, this could very well be all planned, man. China to wipe out a part of this population. Okay, because why? They seek to be that new ruler. Okay, they seek to be that next runner-up. So the closer they can get to making that cashless society and implementing that chip on its people, wiping out their population. Hey man, it's like a race. It's like a race, man. You know, the first ones to implement that so-called cashless society. You know, and China, as the elders spoke, China gonna be the first one to start that shit, man. You know.
You brothers got any precepts?
Yeah, come. I got one. Isaiah 25, verse 10. For in this mountain shall the hand of the Lord rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill.
All right, so like go into it or read it again.
Yeah, come. Isaiah 25, verse 10. For in this mountain shall the hand of the Lord rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill.
Yeah, and again, Moab is going to be trodden down, you know, like the dung, man. You know, just like in the times of King David. All right, it's going to happen again. And we see in the Heavenly Father, all right, bring about the stomping on the Moabites through the plagues, man. Through the pestilences, all right, through what's going to be a great economic collapse. All right, because nonetheless, whether this coronavirus brings it about or not, guess what? There is going to come an economic collapse in China. It's in the prophecies. Okay, so if you're thinking, oh, this coronavirus ain't gonna bring it, hey, well then that means you don't have faith in the prophecies, man. That means you don't have faith, because nonetheless, it's still gonna come. All right, and right now they're being trodden down, man. And soon enough, you simple Americans gonna be trodden down, man. All right, Mike Ali, you got something?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I got this quick article. I want to read a couple
I have one script.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Because Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 9, it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Really, the point saying that that surely Moab shall be as Sodom, which was burnt up, and Ammon as Gomorrah. All right, it's going to be as a salt pits. It's going to be a desolation. So all those lands right now that think they have next, they got next in the rulership, becoming rulership after America's taken out. They think they have the next rulership. Well, guess what? They don't. The Lord. It says, "As I live, saith the Lord of hosts." In other words, you're gonna be as a desolation. But go ahead, brother.
Okay. So real quick, I got this article. It's called "Coronavirus Could It Damage the Global Economy?" And I want to hit a couple points. It says economists are very wary about putting any figures on it at this early stage. It says it is within China that there already is some economic damage. Travel restrictions have been imposed in parts of the country at a time, the Chinese New Year, when many people travel. So the tourism business is already being hit. Okay? And then it goes on to say transport. It says consumer spending on entertainment and gifts will also be affected. For entertainment, many will be reluctant to take part in activities outside the home that could lead to exposure to the virus. Many people are sure to have canceled plans of their own volition to avoid risk of exposure to the disease. It says the impact is magnified by the fact that Wuhan, the city where it began, is an important transport hub. All right, you see, so where the disease started, where it's complete shutdown, it was an important transport hub, man, for goods and other stuff. Okay, so hey, man, already the Chinese government is already seeing economic effects. Okay, effects to the economy because of this virus, and it's only going to continue to get worse because not only that, you're going to have financial, because what they had an article about investors kind of weary about investing over there in China right now. You know, they're not sure whether they're going to pull out or not. Okay, pull their their stocks out. Okay, and it's going to get even worse because of this global recession that's going to, or this economic collapse is going to come to the world due to America and its catastrophe that's getting ready to hit too, man. Okay.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got a quick precept, because Moab and Edom, they always been hand in hand, man. Just like they are today. The biggest economies is Esau and Moab. All right, and like during I'm pretty sure it was during the Greek empires. I'd have to go into it again, but during the Greek empires, when the Mongolians they really started making their empire to spread, and who was the silk. So, like, who was the silk trade between? It was Moab and Edom, or the Silk Road, I believe it's called, the Silk Road. But that was, who was that? It was Esau and Moab. But this is Ezekiel 25:8, and then I'm gonna jump down to 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, because that Moab and Seir do say, Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen." Well, I'll just read through it. Verse 9. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country, Beth Jeshimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim, unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations." Here's the point, though. Verse 11, "And I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am Yahawah." So, hey, the Lord's bringing judgment upon all our enemies, man. The Esau, Edom being our number one enemy. But what now? Like Deuteronomy 30:7 says that the curses are going to come upon our enemies. Well, guess what? Part of the curses that befell us was a pestilence. All right, pestilence was one of the curses, and look at them gooks now. What do you call them? The zipper heads. All right, fish eyes. Look at them now, man. The epicantic folians. Yeah, the Lord's judging them, man. The Lord's bringing judgment upon them because what they, like the brother read earlier in Psalms 83, they were in cahoots. All right, they were confederate one with another to take us down. All right, they had a hand in our downfall. Well, now guess what? Now the Lord's bringing you down. All right along with the main corporate Esau, Edom. All right, because everybody would want to look at Esau, Edom. All right, because he's the main corporate. He's the main person. But guess what? He has a bunch of co-defendants with him: Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, all right, Ham, all of them. All right. So guess what? They all gonna get the same judgment. Esau's just gonna get it the greatest. All right.
Hey, the brother Kanakla read it earlier in Psalms 83.
Yep. Yep.
It went into the co-defendants.
If I can make a point real quick, going into how it says in Isaiah 14 chapter about the golden city ceasing, going into the enterprise, with Psalm 83rd chapter, these nations are all tied together, ultimately by that dollar. So going into what's going on with China and their pandemic, going back into history, think about the Great Depression. Before that Great Depression happened, there's a lot of things going on around the world. Nations getting close to war. World War I just finished, then going into obviously later on and going into World War II. But think about I remember in history class going into the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu was started probably like 1918 into 1920s.
That shit.
Yeah, so that stuff it affects the economic change. Because going into labor workers and that killed like 50 to 100 million people. So going into China, their large population, ain't nobody going to the Nike shoes you wear or so on and so forth. Nobody's making these things, so their supply is going to be cut off. So going into the connection between the nations and their economic system, going into the ushering of that, because they're ultimately trying to crash it. It's evident that these elites, they want to crash the system. They're giving stimulants like throwing out things like sicknesses and stuff. That's out of their control, of course, but they do these things because they want to implement that new world order, and they want that dollar to fail so they can bring that chip in. Being the renewed financial system of the world. That's their intent.
Ariel, you have something? If not, I'm gonna get this real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Revelation. I'm gonna start at 18 and 7. Revelation chapter 18, verse 7 says, "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously." And like it was reading, not only America lived deliciously, but the other nations, man. All right, what do you say? The co-defendants. All right, they say they were in one consent. So if America lived deliciously, China was living deliciously. All right, their main partner. Okay, so much torment and sorrow give her. So hey, this is mainly applying to America, Babylon, but it's also applying to all these other nations, man, because they're part of that empire system. Yeah, they part of the system.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you say, brother?
No, I said, what you're going to read, it goes on to expound on it. Yeah.
Khan. It says, "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine."
That's why they said this. Shall see no sorrows.
Yeah, and shall see no sorrow.
And that's the spirit that Esau has on him, man. That pride, that he thinks that nothing is going to bring them down, and same thing that he's passed on to his allies, because they think, oh well, America's behind me. I'm following after his guidelines. Yeah, they ain't gonna go, like Russ said, they ain't gonna go down. We ain't gonna go down.
Yeah. God.
Remember, I was reading about the ancient Roman Empire, about these nations making deals with them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that they can prosper with the Romans.
The brother brought out an example, the Silk Road.
Yeah.
That was an example because there was many nations, and I forget what the precept is, that were in league with Rome at the time. All right, they made allies, or they would call anybody to them. I think it was First Maccabees chapter 8 we read earlier. They said they would welcome anybody to come join them. Same thing America's doing. They want everybody to come be allies with them.
Yeah. So it says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her." All right. So hey, even if the shit going down in China is a hoax, they still got them people quarantined. They got them locked down. Okay, they not working. All right. So hey, this is what's common to the people, man. All right, because they lived deliciously, they were good mostly, and it goes back to living off of the Israelites. The Lord said He is jealous for His people, man. So that's really why the Lord is backfiring at these nations. It's time for their judgment to come, because when you look at all their riches and all their resources, their infrastructure, all of it leads back to the slavery and the slaughtering of the Israelites, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. That's where the world's wealth comes from. From that point of us being in bondage, man. All right, that's taking us down.
Yeah, because like the next verse you're gonna read, it's not because what is I don't know the exact number, but it's billions of so-called Chinese people. A lot of those could be Jakes. because it's not the everyday Chinese man over there in whatever Wuhan or whatever province they living in. Them niggas ain't living good. Them niggas are living worse than us. We live here in America. We live better than the average day Chinese person because they're living in closet size apartments with a pull down microwave and a pull down bed, and they're living 1,800 of them in one floor. So they catching hell too. But as the scripture that the brother's about to read is going to prove who's living deliciously off of that, just like America. It ain't everybody in the world ain't living deliciously. It's the elites of these of Moab, the elites of Ammon, or the elites of Ham. You know, because they following after what? They following after the ways of Esau Edom. And look what Esau Edom does to his own people. Esau Edom ain't all living deliciously. You got fucking bums living on the bridges. You got people, Edomites living in their minivans, man. Go ahead and read that 9th verse though.
Verse 9, the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her.
Yeah, so that was the point. The kings of the earth, all right? Because you go ask Jinping Boom, all right, over there in the Wuhan province in China, he's not living good. He's making iPhones for a living for 5 cents an hour, or maybe 20 cents a week. You know, so they ain't all living good. But what is it? President Chai or Chai, whatever his name is, he's living great. Look at Kim Jong-un. That nigga is the #1 buyer of Hennessy. That's Moab. But what his people are living in shit. They don't even have internet for the most part. You know, so it's not everybody, because that's why the scriptures say that when the righteous are in authority, the people shall rejoice, man. Because look, now you have Esau Edom ruling the world, and all the nations are suffering from it, except for what? The kings of the earth, as the scripture said. And the kings of the earth. Matter of fact, read that again, Baba Shah. I'm gonna get the blue letter here.
This is Revelation 18 and 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her.
Yep. Here.
Shall bewail her.
This is real quick. This is the word for kings. It says, what is G935? Salakia. Let me just play it real quick. It's I can't pronounce that one.
Strong's G935. Basilus.
All right, so Basilus. And it says, leader of the people, prince, commander, lord of the land, king. Go to the Strong's definition. It says the notion of a foundation of power, king. You know, so yeah. So what? The rulers. Where to go? Salakia. The leaders, the prince, commanders. Okay. It ain't everybody living good. There's people living worse than us, man. We living better than a lot of people in the earth, man. But what? It's because of this rulership, though. It's because of what's going on. And then since you know, these people are following after Esau Edom, they have done the same thing to their people, man. Yeah, whether it be in China, whether it be in India, all right, wherever you go around the world, they're all following after the ways of Esau Edom. And then look, now the kings of the earth is living deliciously, and that's what they're because the nigga that's making iPhones and making Jordans, he don't know what the fuck's going on. He's not living good. He living for pennies on the dollar, you know. So he gonna be rejoicing in the kingdom, so to say. But you know, the king. That's why I said the kings of the earth. They're gonna be the ones that are welling and lamenting for her. Go ahead, Art. Read it again.
And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because, hey, that's like, you know, your plug getting knocked off, man. You know, you go to re-up and then your plug has been knocked off, and then it's like, you think about, oh, man, I got bills to pay, I got this to do, I was living nice. Now what am I going to do, right?
Yeah, and not only that, but they're already going to be suffering, you know, through all these different calamities, you know, the economic depression or a collapse that's going to have to happen, you know, wars that are going to be happening, you know, so the nations are already going to be jacked the hell up. All right, real quick, I want to get a precept on that. This is Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 5, real quick. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world." Okay, so the Lord said, "I will bring the plagues upon the world," man. He didn't just say Babylon, he said the world. He said the sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. So all these nations are going to be, destroyed. They're going to be brought down to oblivion, man. They're going to be destroyed. But ultimately, Babylon, aka America, is going to be completely obliterated by nuclear missiles. But in the midst of, before those missiles hit, these nations are going to be completely destroyed, man. So not only that, but when this cash cow of theirs gets completely destroyed, obliterated off the face of the earth, they're really going to be wailing, man. Just imagine how much they're going to be lamenting because this place gets destroyed, man. Because here it is, America's the queendom, all right, that rules the entire earth. They're the ones that they model themselves after. Now that place has been destroyed. Now what are we going to do? Aria, you look like you want to say something. Go ahead.
I was going to bring out a scripture.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 48, verse, really the whole chapter, but I'm just going to read a couple of these. Verse 14. I'm sorry, no, verse 16. It says, "The calamity of Moab is near." It's like it. "The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasted fast." So, that's the scripture right there. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasted fast. And you read that whole chapter. Basically, it goes into the destruction of Moab, the desolation to come, the judgment of Moab, down the line, in prophecy's sake. So that calamity is near to come, as we can see. And again, Moab is one of the most, it's one of the biggest economies of the world, as brothers were saying. It's one of our enemies, nation of Israel. Okay, and we're gonna see that. We're gonna see, the Lord take that out. It says, "All ye that are about him bemoan him, and all ye that know his name say, how is the strong staff broken, and the beautiful rod." So again, that big populous nation, and again, you like brothers are saying, Esau, who is the arch enemy of the world, is in cahoots with this man. All right, how's this great nation fall? And we've seen it fall in all types of different ways, man. All right, starting economically, and now structurally, with the whole disease and everything going on. It's prophetic to watch such a strong nation with the second highest economy in the world go to his knees. Everything is, like your brother said, everything comes out of that place. Everything that is in your room, that's in your house, comes out of that place, goes to China one way or another. All right, and it ultimately, everything that we know and we use on a daily basis is going to come to a stop. It's going to come to a halt. And when that happens, how is America going to continue? How is all these other big nations, all these different Edomite nations, going to continue? And everything comes out of that one land. Go ahead, brothers.
Hey, Mayum, did you read in the Ezekiel, Second Ezra 15? What was the last verse you just read?
5.
I read 46 through
okay.
51. I stopped at 51.
Baba Shah, Khanakala, can you read that Revelation 18 and 9 again?
Revelation 18 verse 9. "And the king of the earth who hath committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning."
Okay. Read the next verse and then I'll get this precept. Read the next verse, guy.
"Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, from what hour is thy judgment come?"
So this is Ezekiel 32 verse 10. It says, "Yea, I will make many people amazed at thee, and their kings shall be horribly afraid for thee when I shall brandish my sword before them, and they shall tremble at every moment, every man for his own life in the day of thy fall." So that's a precept for that 9th verse, about the kings, wailing and lamenting for her well, they're going to be in fear for their own lives because they're going to see the judgment that YAHAWASHI is going to bring upon this Babylon the Great, this horror, because they're going to know when America goes down with nuclear missiles going down in flames, as they say, guess what? You're going to know that the Lord has appeared because the chariots are going to be here. The chariots are going to be covering the skies before the missiles hit. All right. So it said that, and they shall tremble at every moment, every man for his own life in the day of thy fall. So they mainly the kings, man, they said they're going to be horribly afraid, horribly afraid, So I just wanted to bring that out, precept for that, Revelation 18 and 9. And that's what the Lord is doing now, man. He's leading up to it, man, because you can see that what the Lord, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you can see what the Lord is doing. He's building everything up for this final showdown, for this mark of the beast to be implemented, like the brothers was going into. This is China's damn near a cashless society, and it's Esau Edom, man. He does things strategically, man. Who better to do it on the test run things than the stupidest people on the planet, Moab, So, and it's working perfectly over there, So the Lord is really amping things up. He's revving it up, and things are starting to move quicker, man. Things are starting to move quicker. Yeah, people might forget about it, but not the watchmen. The watchmen, we know. We taking notes. We see what's happening, and then we see the next thing happening, and then so on and so forth. But we see what the Lord is doing, and he's really gearing things up to these final prophecies. All right. And that's how we know that we this much closer to YAHAWASHI, big brother, returning. All right. And just go ahead.
I got a quick precept for you. You said something. You said people just going to forget about it. All right. That goes into this. It's 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
That's right, man. So like the brother mentioned, the General Salami or whatever his name is. That nobody really talking about that no more. But what that didn't just make that whole situation of none effect. Now people are talking about the peace in Gaza and this and no, man. The Lord is gonna. That's what the Lord wants. He wants everybody to think everything's gonna be all cool, And then right there and then, man, something's gonna happen, Lord's will, this year. That's just gonna turn the world upside down, man. Like the movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's gonna be something like that, 100 times greater than 9/11. Right, and it's going to be in the midst when people are like, "Oh yeah, we're all coming together, peace and safety," like the brother just read, right? And his brother want to get Ezekiel to get the precept for that. It was Ezekiel 7 and 25 or 25 and 7, one of those. I think it's 7 and 25. But because this is what people want. People want peace and safety. They don't want to hear about the coronavirus. They don't want to hear about the skirmishes in the Middle East. They don't want to hear about the plagues out there in Africa and it's spreading, with the locusts. All right. They don't want to hear about the negative things. They just want to hear about peace. Oh, it's going to be okay. But guess what? It's not going to be okay. We're here to tell you that it's not going to be okay. All right. Jeremiah 28 and 8. We're here to prophesy of wars, all right, great evils, pestilence. All right. We're not here to tell you that everything's going to be okay. We're here to tell you that everything's going to get a lot worse. Go ahead, if brother got that.
This is Ezekiel chapter 20, or it's like Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 25. The destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none.
Yeah, that's right. So destruction is coming. No matter what you say, what you do, what you think. All right. Destruction is coming. And now people are trying to seek peace because they see, especially the Spirit had Apostle Tahar deemed this year, coined this year, the year of prophecy. And look, we're here in February 19th, and so much has just happened in these just short 2 months, man. All right. So now people they really want to seek peace because they see the destruction is coming. But guess what? There's what to say? Read it again, Bible shot. There shall be none or something like that.
It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none.
Yeah, there shall be none. There ain't no peace, man. There ain't no peace for the wicked. Okay, there is no coming back and meeting in the middle. All right, let's find a common ground. No, there's none of that. The Lord has sent out His words for decades now. He told you what He's gonna do. He warned you of what He was gonna do, and now guess what? Now He's doing it. So you have no one to blame but yourself. All right. The reason the Lord is bringing heavy judgments is because of the wickedness of this world, man. The iniquity that has exceedingly polluted the earth. Here it is that you've been destroying the earth for years and years and years. Now the Lord's going to destroy you and destroy the earth. Now you ain't going to be able to eat. He's sending the locusts to destroy your crops. He's sending natural disasters destroy you and the crops. Okay. Now it's time for the judgment to come upon this earth for all the wickedness that has gone throughout the earth for centuries.
Hey, I got you, brother.
Go ahead.
This is back in 2nd Ezra 15. I read verse 5. I'll read it again. 2nd Ezra 15 and 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled."
That's right, man. So here it is that the wickedness has completely compassed the earth. All right, completely has gone from the four corners of the earth. Now the Lord said He's gonna bring His sword. He's gonna bring pestilence. He's gonna bring death, destruction. Okay, pestilence, earthquakes, famines. And look, you take a look around what's going on, and just let's say just in the last year. We'll just go back to February of 2018. Look at all the things that the Lord has brought onto this place, man. And people just still going on all nonchalant about their lives, man, like nothing's happening. Just like in the days of Noah. So it's beautiful, you know, being in this truth, we see it and we actually rejoice in it because we could be one of them weirdo bug outs, just living just a YOLO life, all right, not knowing the consequences of your actions. But look, we get to sit back and watch the Lord's judgment that we've been reading this whole time. We've been reading. People say, "Oh, yeah, it's just a book." Well, guess what? Now, what we just what you call just a book is happening right before your eyes. What sayest thou now? You know, what can you say now? Because the Lord is visiting the earth, man, for all this iniquity, man. You imagine the Lord, man. Imagine how angry the Lord is. And we still haven't even seen a fraction of what He's bringing. What's going to end up happening in these last days, man? It's going to be so unimaginable that people are just going to be dropping dead from heart attacks just from the fear. Just from fear, people are going to die. Go ahead, though.
Con. Anybody got something? All right, go ahead.
Just a quick point, you know, pretty much going into the Lord's putting His word in checkmate, you know, to where there's no going in or going out. You know, the Lord's setting up to where, you know, going into stuff that's happening around the world, He's making these moves so that, you know, when the time comes that, you know, going into Isaiah 47 chapter, you know, this evil that's coming, not going to put it off no more. You know, there's things that happen in China, you know, especially in so-called America, they say it don't affect us because they don't see the direct links, you know, going into what happened to Soleimani and Iran. You know, they don't see the direct links. We're all heading to World War III. Okay, going into the economy collapsing. Okay, China, if it wasn't because of China, a lot of people in America wouldn't have jobs. You know, going into the parts being assembled in China, you know, not assembled, being made in China and assembled in America, that's a whole industry of making phones. That's a lot of workers. You know, and going into that, you know, that's how America's gonna fail. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Con, when I used to work at the auto parts, all them shits were refurbished. Most of the parts you get at an auto shop is refurbished or rebuilt. And guess where they rebuilding bitches at? Good old Wuhan, China.
Mm-hmm. All those eBay parts and all that the cheap shit you get on eBay, that shit's all made in China. All the tools, the you go to like the tool store, you want to get the discount tools. It ain't American steel. It's all Chinese shit, you know. And people buy that, you know. People buy it. It's a big deal over here. It's cheap, and you need to use it. You can get it. But guess what? You know, if China ain't pushing that shit out no more, or if there's a block on it because of whatever, you know, i.e. this virus, then a lot of prices are going to go up on everyday items over here in America and across the world. and basically everybody's gonna feel the burn on that.
I'm gonna go back into this Revelation 18 real quick, because like we've been saying, man, what when we wake up in the morning, what we going to do? We going to do our job, man. Everybody, that's what it's all based around: buying, selling, trading, buying, selling, trading. That's what, possession. That's what it's all about, man. And the Lord is getting ready to hit that, like like always happen, man. There's a famine in the land, so on and so forth, man. You can't get access to the goods and this and that, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring down this monetary system, man. Because when He hit this monetary system, that's when shit's gonna get real. Okay, it's no reason why it's not a coincidence that these nations been hoarding gold, man, buying tons, some million tons of gold and silver. Elder Pastor Hart, he did a video on silver, like, brothers can't, buy little silver coins and whatnot. He said it ain't gonna save you, but buy little silver coins, because this fiat system is getting ready to be brought down, man. All right, so it says, Revelation 18:11, it says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore." And that's what's happening, man. Okay? The production of everything is slowing down, man. Going back to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Okay? Well, you want to get that? Okay, yeah. Going back to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, where it say the grinding shall cease. Okay? That's what's getting ready to happen, man. Just shall, in Isaiah 19, shall be no work for the head. The work of each, all the work. Yeah, or tail may do. Brothers, man, they own jobs like it's slowing down. Brothers getting laid off because it's slowing down in their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's spooked.
Yeah, man, it's getting ready, man. All this good. Oh, I need to find a good job. You'll be lucky if you find a job starting off paying $15 an hour. Hey, even my mom, she got laid off her job because it went out of business. She's making like 25. Shit, now she's struggling trying to find a job like that's gonna pay her what she was making. It just don't exist no more, man. So it says, I'm gonna jump down to the point. It says, verse 15. It says, "The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off, for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing." Okay, the merchant city, the ports, all the ports, man, buying, selling, trading. All right, the supply, okay, and the demand is being cut short, man.
Because it is the supply, or it's like the demand is diminishing because the people are not getting paid, and so with demand going down, companies are not going to make as much as they used to because the people are not buying. Demand's not high, so supply goes down. So then it's just going to be even worse. It's going to be tougher for these people.
And the demand's not high because people just can't afford it, and that it's not on their mind, a lot of these things. So of course the demand's going to go down, it's going to dwindle. Thus people are going to get laid off, and the value of everyday items are just going to go down because it's not important.
And it's not gonna get better, man. And then you got the Lord intervening, all right, like with the crops and what you know how many pigs got wiped out, man? All right, how many? Even though of course we don't eat pigs, but but look, but the thing about it though, look, when you leave when one source of pig, what that field has to be fulfilled. So people is eating pig, what they gonna start eating more chicken, start eating more beef.
Hey, and pig people, they don't just use swine for just food. There's a swine goes into a lot of products, like not boars, but the pigs with hair. Man, I seen this one video where they just fucking strip them of their hair. They throw them in a machine and some kind of acid. It rips the hair off of them, and then they take the hair and make the eyelash brushes for the women. And then the lipstick, so swine is a big business, so to say. And but what the main one that people know about is to eat, pork chops and chitlins.
And they make soap out of them, out of the fat. The fat is very important. It's a big resource. It actually really is a big resource.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, food is one thing, so-called food, that people eat, and it's actually one of the cheapest meats, but go ahead. It's one of the cheapest meats, but that's it's gonna be a high commodity, and you ain't gonna be able to eat it. Like the brother said, people are gonna start going back to the real foods, the chickens and the beefs and things like that.
Yep. And the quick disclaimer, we're not saying it's gonna happen overnight, because there's clearly prophecies to be fulfilled still, but we're telling you that it's coming. It's definitely coming soon. And we're not putting a set date on it. We're not telling you that next week the economy is going to be shut down. But if you understand the prophecies of the scriptures and you can read the signs of the times, you understand that we're nigh at that time, man. The time is at hand.
Yeah, hey, real quick, a precept that comes to mind is we prophesy in part, we know in part, and we prophesy in part.
Exactly.
Yeah. However it goes.
Because we don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but through the scriptures, what the scriptures tells us and the signs, we speculate, but the main point is we're prophesying and giving you a warning. Okay, that's all we got to do. We didn't got to tell you the exact way it's going to go down. We're telling you, look, this is coming. You either believe it or you don't. That's on you. The blood is off our hands. We like Pontius did. He washed his hands from YAHAWASHI's blood. Guess what? Now we're washing our hands from your blood by telling you these things. You either believe it or you don't. That's up to you. That's between you and the Most High. But 100% sure it's coming, and very soon. Okay, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow, but it's coming. All right.
Something might happen tomorrow, though. That's the beauty about this.
Oh, something's gonna happen tomorrow, but the collapses ain't coming tomorrow. That's what I'm
saying. Yeah. But something might happen. You might wake up in the morning.
What I'm getting at is the end is not next week. All right.
Right, of course.
There's still prophecies we got to be fulfilled. Just for disclaimers for simpletons that that might watch this and be like, oh, the Wuhan. No, we're telling you we're bringing out what's going on in the earth. And telling you that, look, this is what the scripture says, so it's prophecy. And then we're telling you that by this, that we're near the end. All right, we're close to the end because this is what the Lord said will be happening at the end. All right, and even the apostles have been saying, man, it could happen this year, it could happen next year. We don't know. All right, our job is just to tell you. All right, we're not the creators of the calendar. You buy a calendar from Esau. It tells you this day and that day. No, we're just telling you what's coming. All right. Whether it come next week, whether it come in a month, but it's coming. All right. And you either take key to it or prepare to meet your maker, as they say. Go ahead, though, brothers.
And back up what the brother said, hey, we could already be in a financial collapse. It just ain't taking place yet. It could be. It just take a process for it to break down. Like we could have been in a collapse in a recession 6 months ago, but the effects haven't really trickled down, to you yet. So just like the day of the Lord, you think the day of the Lord actually gonna start when YAHAWASHI crack the clouds?
Exactly.
It's gonna start when as soon as all hell start breaking loose and there's tribulation or the RFID chip implemented. It ain't just one day the Lord, then it's just the only day it's him turning back, man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like the Mark of the Beast is gonna be released on a Tuesday, then 2 hours later nah, man, come on, it's a build up to it, man. Yeah, like
missiles come, that afternoon.
Yeah, it's a process, man. A lot of people gotta suffer, man. A lot of people gotta go through shit. The hour of temptation got to come, the martial law, the race riots,
Jacob's trouble,
Jacob's trouble, the invasion. All right, because people got to invade America. That's still far fetched, People still can't even imagine that, but it's gonna happen though. People are gonna come in America and invade it. All right, the missiles are gonna fly. Okay, people are gonna be starving to death. You don't just starve in one day. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, man. So we're just warning you. We're telling you, look. This is what's happening in the world. This is what the scriptures say. Get right or die, man. That's as blunt as I can put it. Look at what's going on in the world. We're not making this up. We're not pulling this out of our asses. We didn't wake up this morning and put this lesson together. Or we didn't make up fake news, like Trump like to say. We're just pointing out things that are going on in the world for a fact, okay? And correlating it with the scriptures and prophecy, okay? The prophecies. It's not an if, and, or but. No, it's when, okay? It's a matter of when now. We're just telling you now it's just a matter of when. And only the Lord, only Yahawah knows that day that Yahawashi is going to return. Because Yahawashi don't even know when he's coming back. But that's why he gave us signs, man. That's why he gave us signs.
Two more verses, Revelation 18 and 19. It says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city where were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her.
That's beautiful, because what the apostles and the prophets are going to get to rejoice over her, because what they're the ones that are telling you that this place is going down, man. So what better satisfaction will there be than to just rejoice over the place you've been condemning, prophesying? All right, the script, like going back to that Jeremiah 28:8, we prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms. What greater kingdom is there than Babylon the Great? So guess what, Lord's will, we be those men. We're going to rejoice over this place, and Lord's will, we get to watch from an aerial view, okay, in them chariots, this place be destroyed. All right, but what it goes back to, doing his job, doing this duty, doing the making your calling and election sure. All right, by doing what the Lord commanded us to do, condemn this place. All right. And that's a heavy thing, man. Really think of that. Jeremiah 28:8 is a very heavy scripture, man. That is treason to the highest degree. Whatever kingdom you may be, if you speak against a kingdom, that is treason. Whether it have been Babylon, all right, whether it have been the Medo-Persians, all right, the Greeks, the Roman Empire, America, all right. This is the Most High calling us, his men, his army. Right, his foot soldiers that he put down here in the chains of darkness to rise them up in these last days, to magnify himself, to glorify himself through the power. All right, it manifests his power through just ordinary men, and it takes faith to do this. It takes belief. You have to really believe what you're speaking, what you're teaching, what you're preaching. Because this has never been seen on the face of the earth before, man. Men standing up that don't even know each other, standing on the corners telling you that you better get right or die. All right, that the Lord is coming back in an extravagant way, even greater than he did in the Exodus of Egypt. There's no greater calling than this. There's no greater honor than this. So guess what? There's not going to be a greater reward than this, And we're telling you. Well, we're just pointing it out at this point in time. We're just pointing it out, man. We've been telling you, all right? We've been prophesying, beginning with the apostles and elders on down. We've been telling you, man. And now we're just pointing at it. Look, here it is. It's happening. I told you so, man. And wait till it really starts cracking, man. This is gonna be the greatest I told you so in the history of mankind. You false phonies out there, man. You Israelites claim to be Israelites. You're gonna know that Great Millstone had the truth the whole time. You're gonna know why we didn't hold nothing back. All right, why we didn't sugarcoat things, man. Because the Lord didn't sugarcoat things, man. The what was the chapter today? Yesterday, Luke 11, the 11th chapter, I believe. You saw how Yahawashi got on the Pharisees, and then one of the scribes came up and he said, "Well, oh no, he was getting on the Pharisees, and then one of the lawyers came up and he said, "Well, to you lawyers too, man." He was going in on them, man. That's what we do. We go in on you, man. If you come with that nonsense, we're gonna tell you what it is. All right. We don't care about your feelings. We just care about pleasing YAHAWASHI, man. We trying to save ourselves and then those that hear us. If you don't want to hear it, then we ain't got time for you. Because it's too evident what's taking place on the earth right now to be wasting time on some simple ass shit. If you think the earth is flat, good for you. Have a nice day. Now what? What are you gonna do now? The earth is flat. So what? Let's say the earth was flat. Where do we go from here now? We're not wasting time on simple ass niggas no more, man. All right. We're only looking for those that believe in YAHAWASHI and what the scriptures have said. The scriptures talk about believe in word. Damn, how's it go? He that believeth on him, believe on him on it. Yeah, kind of. Yep. Oh, spirit and truth. That's what I was looking for. The spirit and truth. Believe on him in spirit and truth. Roughly paraphrasing. Brother, know where that's at. He that believes believe in spirit and truth. I think that's how it goes. Pretty sure. I know spirit and truth is in there, but man, you know that's what the point is, man. Because if you're not coming in spirit and in truth, all right, the spirit of YAHAWASHI, then you're not gonna get this. No way, no how, man. You're just gonna hear it. You got it? Kind. Go ahead.
John 16:13. Howbeit, when he, the spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that he shall speak, and he will show you things to come.
That's right, man. And that was YAHAWASHI. And now what? We're getting led through that same spirit, because that's why he say he was going to leave a comforter for us, okay, to sup with us, and that's the Holy Spirit, right? The spirit of truth, the spirit of YAHAWASHI. And if you're not in that spirit, you're not going to understand these prophecies. You're going to just look at what's going on around the world and just brush it off. You know, you're going to go back to your nonsense and your shenanigans, not even knowing that this is leading up to what the end. All right, this is leading up to the return of the Lord, the return of the Messiah, man. And he's not coming back to hand out high fives, hand out roses. He's coming back to bring death, destruction, man, a sword, division. All right, go ahead, brothers.
I'll bring out one scripture.
Go ahead.
Kind of going, just kind of put an end on everything. This is 2 Ezra 16, chapter 16, verse 1 and 2. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia! Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria! Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand."
Yep. There you go.
And then with that, yeah.
So you see how it said Babylon, which we know what Babylon, modern day Babylon, is Asia. Where Asia's at. And then it said Syria and what else? Egypt. Yeah, which Egypt and Syria is America, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right, modern day America. All right, but look, you see how I throw Asia in there. All right, the point is, we're trying to shine light on the current events of the world to show you that the Lord ain't playing anymore, man. The Lord is bringing judgment upon the earth throughout the four corners of the earth, man. He's not just jacking Esau up. He's jacking all these nations up, man. Your brother did a video on the pestilences. All right, you got the locusts. As before, the Lord judged. Didn't the Lord do the same thing to Egypt, which is where? Africa. Now the Lord's doing the same thing out there in Africa again. All right, not Egypt, but it's out there and in other parts of the world. All right, you got these pestilences spreading. You got the famines spreading. A lot of people don't even look that up or even consider that. There's people starving to death more and more. All right, as the days go on, more and more people are starving to death, and it's going to continue to rise. All right, you got earthquakes, pestilences. Okay, a lot of judgment is coming upon this earth because why? The Lord is finna return, man, and these are just the beginning of sorrows. So imagine what's going to happen in 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Imagine what happens a week before the Lord returns. You imagine a week before the Lord return, man? How horrible condition this place is going to be in? 7 days before the Lord returns, it's going to be horrendous on this earth, man. The time of Jacob's trouble has begun, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. All right. So with that, anybody got anything? Or that's it. Kind of. So with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, Rafaq Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation and much love to you, Akim, out there pushing out his word, truth, sincerity. Continue to push out this word. We almost got it here, brothers. Stay strong. Shalom.
Shalom.